Moonfall Season 1 Episode 2 Unleashed. Previously on Episode 1 Awakening began with the introduction of Daniela, the new girl at Silvermoon High. Her arrival sparked discussions among the students, with curiosities surrounding her background and origins. Lisa's interest in Bajil was evident as she kept an eye on him. Zach's attempts to approach Daniela out were met with rejection. The basketball game took an unexpected turn when Bajil leaves in frustration and heads to a park, where he is later found by his friends unconscious, injured, and bloody. Marcus and Sebastian search for Daniela, who had gone berserk and ran off into the city in their werewolf form, while also grappling with the events surrounding Bajil's attack. The night ended with Xavier Jolene, their father, calling them home. The brothers eventually find out she's safe at home, but they remain concerned about the night's events. Bajil's injuries are severe. His friends and his family anxiously wait for news about his well-being. Unbeknownst to everyone, Bajil's injuries trigger an awakening of his dormant werewolf heritage. His body begins to heal rapidly, and an otherworldly energy surrounds him. This newfound power brings heightened senses and a deep connection to his Nightshade clan's heritage. As dawn approaches, news of Bajil's attack spreads through the city and the school. Xavier Jolene, the father of Daniela, Marcus, and Sebastian, learns about the incident and his grandfather Elijah Jolene. Episode 2 Unleashed, September 15th, Friday 2023. As dawn approaches, a hushed tension blankets the city of New York. The events of the previous night linger in the minds of its inhabitants, both human and werewolves. The morning sun casts long shadows across the streets, painting a tranquil facade that belies the underlying currents of uncertainty. The scene shifts to the Jolene household. Inside, the atmosphere is tense, the weight of the previous night's events lingering in the air like a palpable presence. The family has gathered in the living room, their expressions marked by a mix of concern. Elijah Jolene, presence commands attention, a testament to his status as both a respected patriarch and a former leader of the Silvercrest clan. His voice, when he speaks, carries a weight of age and experience, a reservoir of wisdom that has weathered the test of time. Elijah's voice resonating with the gravity of the situation. "We cannot ignore the events that have transpired," he says, his words deliberate. "It is imperative that we investigate this matter thoroughly." Xavier's brow furrows. "You're right, father," he replies, his tone matching the seriousness of the situation. "We need to understand what happened, and why." Scarlett, Xavier's wife, chimed in, her voice filled with a concern. "Xavier, Elijah, we can't afford to underestimate the gravity of this situation. Our priority is the safety of our family and the entire werewolf community." Sophia, the younger sister, moved beside Daniela, extending a hand to help her up. With a reassuring smile, she whispered, "Come on, let's get you cleaned up, sis." As Sophia led Daniela to the bathroom, the three adults continued their conversation. Elijah's eyes shifted to Daniela, his gaze compassionate. "Daniela, my dear," he addressed her gently, "I know this is overwhelming, but we will stand together as a family. Your berserk last night and the attack on Bajil are pieces of a puzzle that we need to solve." Xavier nodded. "We'll start by gathering information. If there's a threat to our community, we'll face it head-on." In the bathroom, Sophia helped Daniela clean up, her movements gentle and comforting. Daniela's reflection in the mirror looked pale, her eyes filled with a mixture of confusion and fear. "Sophia," she began, her voice shaky, "I can't believe this is happening. I've never felt so out of control." Sophia's eyes met Daniela's in the mirror, her expression sympathetic. "I know it's overwhelming, but you're not alone in this, Daniela. We're all here for you, no matter what." Back in the living room, Elijah's gaze turned introspective, his voice a low rumble of contemplation. "There's an old saying, Xavier, the past has a way of catching up with us. I fear that the events we're facing now may be tied to a history we thought was buried." Xavier leaned forward, his elbows resting on his knees, his hands clasped together. "Are you suggesting that this attack on Bajil might have roots in our past, father?" Elijah's eyes held a distant sorrow. "It's a possibility we can't ignore. Our clan, the Silvercrest, has a lineage that stretches back centuries. There have been rivalries and conflicts that time has forgotten. But sometimes, the echoes of those conflicts can resurface when we least expect them. Scarlett's brows furrowed, concern etching her features. So you're saying that this might not be an isolated incident, it could be a sign of something bigger. Elijah's nod was grave. Indeed, Scarlett. We need to tread carefully, for the truth we seek might unveil a reality we're not prepared for. Our clan, the Silvercrest, has been intertwined with the Stormwolf, Bloodmoon, and Shadowfawn clans for generations. The history of our kind is not without its struggles, rivalries, and secrets. Xavier's gaze hardened. Then we'll uncover that truth, Father. We owe it to our family, our community, and to Daniela herself. As Sophia and Daniela rejoined the group, the atmosphere in the room was one of shared concern and resolve. Elijah's voice resonated with his accumulated wisdom, his words a guiding force in the storm of uncertainty. Remember, my dear family, Elijah said, his eyes moving from one face to another, we may be facing an enemy we can't see, but we possess the strength of unity and the power of our lineage. With those, we shall confront whatever challenges lie ahead. As the echoes of Elijah's words settled in the room, a sense of purpose united the Jolene family. They knew that the road ahead would be treacherous, but they were prepared to face it together, bound by blood and determination to uncover the hidden truths that had been unleashed. In the heart of the supernatural world, nestled within the shadows of the city, the Stormwolf clan thrived under the leadership of the venerable Kenneth K.G. Garcia. A figure of awe-inspiring stature, K.G. a massive, tall, and heavily muscled werewolf, resembling a modern-day Viking with a beard that bore the wisdom of ages. His beard has two bead styles, each representing different aspects of his leadership. Among the prominent figures of the Stormwolf clan were Demak Lako, whose cunning and tactical brilliance often proved invaluable in times of crisis, Julian Conflict Valerio, known for his indomitable spirit and unmatched combat skills, Wilfredo Santiago Jr., often referred to as Macho, a young prodigy known for his exceptional talents in diplomacy and mediation, Stephen Gwynn, the clan's tech-savvy genius renowned for his hacking skills and expertise in espionage and covert operations. Footy K. Terranova, with her uncanny ability to navigate complex situations, and Melo Perez, the clan's master of arcane knowledge, completed the council of trusted advisors. The Jolene household was not the only place where the news of Bajil Wolf's attack was causing ripples through the hidden werewolf community. In a secluded forested area not far from the heart of New York City, the Stormwolf clan had established its territory. As the early morning light filtered through the dense canopy, the clan's leader, Kenneth K.G. Garcia, stood at the center of a gathering, his presence commanding the attention of all those present. KG was a massive werewolf, tall and powerfully built, with a beard that bore the wisdom of countless ages. His two braided bead styles hung from his beard, symbols of his leadership and experience. The clan members, including Footy K. Terranova, Melo Perez, Demak Lako, Julian Conflict Valerio, Wilfredo Santiago Jr., and the tech-savvy Stephen Gwynn, had assembled, drawn together by an unspoken urgency. It was KG who broke the silence, his deep voice resonating through the forest. My fellow Stormwolves, something of great significance has occurred, he began, his words carrying the weight of responsibility. Last night, a high school student named Bajil Wolf, one of our own kind, has attacked a human in the human world. Murmurs of concern and surprise rippled through the gathered clan members. KG continued, the attack was brutal and unprovoked. Our kind must remain hidden from the humans, and such an incident threatens to expose us. Demak Lako, known for his shrewd intellect and strategic acumen, spoke up, his voice measured. We cannot allow our existence to be revealed. It could jeopardize not only us, but all werewolf clans. Julian Conflict Valerio, whose indomitable spirit and unmatched combat skills, nodded in agreement. We need to investigate this matter discreetly, gather information, and ensure that Bajil Wolf is safe. Wilfredo Santiago Jr., often referred to as Macho, a young prodigy known for his exceptional talents in diplomacy and mediation, added, we must also find a way to heal the wounds between our clans. The harmony we once had is unraveling. Stephen Gwynn, the clan's tech-savvy genius renowned for his hacking skills and expertise in espionage and covert operations, chimed in, "I can infiltrate human databases and monitor police reports. We might find clues there." Footy K. Terranova, with her uncanny ability to navigate complex situations, nodded in approval. "Let's proceed cautiously, as we always have. We can't afford to draw attention." Melo Perez, the clan's master of arcane knowledge, looked around at her fellow Stormwolves. "We shall gather information discreetly, and I shall consult the ancient texts for any prophecies or signs related to these events." KG's gaze moved over the council of trusted advisors, a mixture of determination and concern in his eyes. "We are the guardians of our kind, the silent protectors. Let us begin this investigation and safeguard our secrets, our unity, and the well-being of our fellow werewolves." Nestled within the shadows of New York City, Seraphina Bloodmoon is a force to be reckoned with in the supernatural world. Standing at an imposing height, she exudes an aura of power and authority that demands respect. Her raven black hair cascades like a waterfall down her back, and her piercing crimson eyes seem to see through the souls of those who meet her gaze. Seraphina's skin is adorned with tribal markings that signify her lineage as the alpha of the Blood Moon clan, and symbolizing her dominance over the natural world. She is known for her fearlessness in battle, her cunning strategies, and her unwavering loyalty to her clan. Seraphina's leadership is characterized by a relentless pursuit of her clan's interests, and she is not one to shy away from the brutal realities of their existence. Her reign has seen the Blood Moon clan rise to prominence in the supernatural hierarchy, making them a formidable force to be reckoned with. Deep within an underground sanctuary in New York, the members of the Blood Moon clan gathered, their fierce leader, Seraphina Bloodmoon, at the center. Known for her fearless and domineering presence, her crimson eyes gleaming with an inner fire. The room was shrouded in shadows, illuminated only by the faint glow of crimson torches that lined the stone walls, casting eerie, flickering light across their faces. Around her, the members of her clan, each possessing their own unique strengths and abilities, watched as Seraphina's gaze shifted to the large screen at the front of the chamber. The screen displayed the news of the previous night's attack on Ninetails-WOLF, the high school student from Silver Moon High. Taylor Carpenter, a fierce and agile member of the Blood Moon clan, stepped forward, her eyes ablaze with the primal energy of a Blood Moon. "Did you hear the news about the attack on Ninetails-WOLF?" she questioned. It doesn't seem like the work of any ordinary creature, her voice laced with a dangerous edge. Seraphina's lips curled into a predatory smile. "Indeed, Taylor. This reeks of supernatural interference. Blood frenzy, perhaps?" Her voice was a low, melodic growl that sent shivers down the spines of those present. Karina D'Agostino, a cunning strategist in the clan, added, "It's a dangerous game, whatever it is. If it draws the attention of the humans or the other clans." Ileana Moscoso, the Blood Moon clan's skilled tracker and scout, chimed in. "We must tread carefully, Seraphina. We can't afford any missteps. We need to investigate this matter thoroughly." Danielle Stolick, the enigmatic master of the shadows, stepped out from the darkness. Her presence felt more than seen, nodded in agreement. "I'll investigate the scene of the attack, find any traces left behind." Seraphina's eyes flickered with approval. "Good. And Mei Ling, our tech-savvy genius, will accompany you. Use your skills to uncover any hidden information." Mei Ling Bloodmoon, a brilliant hacker, was honored to be chosen. She nodded, her eyes filled with determination. "We'll get to the bottom of this, Seraphina. We are the Blood Moon clan. We cannot allow any threats to our kind or our dominance." Seraphina Bloodmoon, their fierce and fearless leader, rose from her obsidian throne. "We shall uncover the secrets lurking in the dark." The members of the Blood Moon clan prepared to investigate the mysteries surrounding Ninetails-WOLF. The underlying tension of the supernatural world and its mysteries deepened to protect their kind from the shadows that threatened their existence. Deep within the hidden heart of New York City, concealed beneath layers of darkness and secrecy, lay the Shadowfawn clan's sanctuary. It was a place of shadows and whispers, where ancient mysticism met the modern world. Silas Darkclaw, a figure cloaked in enigma and authority, stood within the sanctum of the Shadowfawn clan. The chamber itself seemed a part of the shadows, with runes etched into its stone walls shimmering faintly with arcane power. Silas, his obsidian fur a stark contrast to his piercing amber eyes, watched a massive screen embedded in the chamber. The screen projected the news, its voice recounting the shocking events of the previous night, a brutal attack on a high school student named Ninetails-WOLF. Beside Silas, his son, Malachi Darkclaw, stood vigilant. His crimson eyes held the wisdom of ages as they reflected the gravity of the situation. The chamber's entrance opened with a low growl of stone on stone, and 3 figures entered. These were members of the Shadowfawn clan, trusted and fierce, ready to defend their clan's interests at any cost. Silas Darkclaw, the leader of the Shadowfawn clan, acknowledged their presence with a subtle nod. His voice, a deep rumble like distant thunder, carried the weight of command. Brothers and sisters of the Shadowfawn clan, you have been summoned for a matter of grave importance. Malachi Darkclaw, his son, stepped forward, his gaze fixed on the screen as the news of Ninetails-WOLF's attack continued to unfold. The events of last night have sent ripples through the city, and it concerns one of our own kind. The first of the 3 clan members to enter was Darius Nightstalker, his silvery fur shimmering in the dim light of the chamber. He had an air of quiet intensity, and his voice held a razor-sharp edge. We need to understand the implications of this attack. It may have far-reaching consequences for our kind. Lysandra Darkmoon, a figure of elegance and mystique, was the second to enter. Her sapphire eyes gleamed with curiosity and an underlying wisdom. The victim, Ninetails-WOLF, is a student of Silvermoon High. His fate is intricately tied to the recent events of our world. Isolde Shadow Weaver, the 3rd member, carried an aura of mystery about her. Her fur was a deep shade of midnight, and her presence seemed to blend effortlessly with the shadows. Silas, Malachi, how do we proceed? Silas Darkclaw turned away from the screen, his amber eyes locking onto each of his clan members. We must gather information, understand the circumstances surrounding this attack, and assess the potential threats it poses to our clan. The safety of our kind is paramount. Malachi Darkclaw added, this incident might be more than it appears. We need to tread carefully and, if necessary, intervene to protect our interests. Darius Nightstalker nodded in agreement. Agreed. We'll begin our investigation immediately. Ninetails-WOLF's attack may be the catalyst for something greater, something that threatens all werewolf clans. Lysandra Darkmoon's sapphire gaze flickered with determination. Let's not waste time. We'll leave no stone unturned in unraveling this mystery. Isolde Shadow Weaver's eyes glinted in the dim light. Our shadows will cloak our actions, and our instincts will guide us. Together, we'll uncover the truth. As the discussion within the Shadowfawn clan's chamber continued, 2 more figures entered, their presence commanding attention. Alistair Moonshadow, known for his unrivaled agility and hunting skills, moved with a graceful confidence. His silver fur shimmered like moonlight, and his eyes held the gleam of a seasoned warrior. Silas, Malachi, he greeted with a nod, acknowledging their clan leader and his fellow members. I heard the news. It's troubling. Selene Nightstalker, sister of Darius Nightstalker, followed Alistair, her sleek black fur marking her as a member of the Shadowfawn clan. Her presence exuded a quiet strength, and her eyes, like pools of darkness, were filled with curiosity and resolve. Indeed, she chimed in, the attack on Ninetails-WOLF is sending shockwaves through the supernatural community. We couldn't ignore it. Silas Darkclaw turned to them, his amber eyes reflecting the seriousness of the situation. Alistair, Selene, your timing is impeccable. We were just discussing the need for an investigation. This matter concerns us all. Malachi Darkclaw stepped forward, but Ninetails-WOLF may be just the beginning. We must uncover the truth behind this incident. Alistair Moonshadow's gaze flickered with a hint of anticipation. I'm ready to assist in any way I can. Our clan's safety is paramount. Selene Nightstalker's determination burned brightly. Let's gather information, analyze the situation, and ensure the safety of our kind. The Shadowfawn clan stood united in their resolve to uncover the mystery surrounding Ninetails-WOLF's attack. The pieces of this enigmatic puzzle were slowly falling into place, and together they would unveil the truth hidden in the shadows. The news of Ninetails-WOLF's attack had rippled through the werewolf community, setting into motion a series of events. Among those drawn into the unfolding drama were the members of the Silvercrest clan, a clan known for its wisdom and leadership. As the morning sun painted the city with gentle hues of gold and pink, more members of the Silvercrest clan made their way towards the Jolene household. A sense of urgency propelled their steps. They were a diverse group, each with their unique abilities and strengths shared concern for the recent events. Inside the Jolene household, the atmosphere was charged with anticipation. Marcus and Sebastian, Xavier and Scarlett's sons, stood ready in the living room, their expressions a mix of concern and curiosity. Xavier and Elijah, the pillars of the clan, were deep in conversation, discussing their plans and strategies. The living room had become a hub of activity, a place where decisions were made and alliances were solidified. Meanwhile, Daniela and Sophia, the sisters in the Jolene family, were in Daniela's room. They worked together to help Daniela clean up, the younger sibling offering support and understanding as Daniela tried to piece together the events of the previous night. The room was bathed in the soft morning light, a stark contrast to the turmoil that had unfolded in the city. The Silvercrest clan members arrived at the Jolene household, their presence commanding attention as they knocked on the door with a sense of purpose. It was Orion Ironclaw, the steadfast warrior, who took the lead. His knuckles rapped against the door with a distinct rhythm. The door opened, revealing Marcus and Sebastian, who greeted the arriving clan members with nods of acknowledgement. With a silent understanding, the Silvercrest clan members entered the living room, where Xavier, Scarlett, and Elijah were gathered, their expressions a mix of concern. Darian Frostborn, the cool and composed member with an affinity for ice, spoke first. "We heard about the attack on Ninetails-WOLF," he said in a calm yet probing tone, his icy blue eyes scanning the room for answers. Aldrich Stoneclaw, the silent observer, focused his sharp gaze on Xavier and Scarlett, his keen senses attuned to any subtle nuances in their words. He knew that every detail mattered in their quest for answers. The Los Ironthorn, known for his unyielding resolve, stood tall and imposing. His presence was a testament to the clan's determination to protect their own. He simply nodded in acknowledgement of the dire situation. Aurelius Shadowblade, the master strategist, took in the surroundings, noting the tension in the room. His strategic mind was already piecing together the puzzle of what had transpired. Phelan Silverthorn, the clan's diplomat, offered a reassuring smile to the Jolene family, a silent promise that they were here to help navigate the challenges that lay ahead. Among the females, Astrid Moonleaf, the fierce archer, maintained a vigilant stance, her bow and arrows ready at her side. Her eyes, sharp as her arrows, Eliana Moonshadow, the enigmatic nature communicator, her connection to nature was a valuable asset in deciphering the mysteries that often eluded others. Lyria Ravensong, known for her healing abilities, exuded a calming aura that seemed to soothe the frayed nerves in the room. Her presence offered a sense of solace in troubled times. Solara Mooncrest, with her moon affinity, was prepared to harness the moon's energy if needed. Her eyes shimmered with a silvery glow. Cassia Silvercrest, the resourceful link between the clan and the human world, had a notebook in hand, ready to document any information that could aid their investigation. Inside the Jolene household, the tension was palpable as the clan members gathered in the living room. Xavier, Scarlett, and Elijah exchanged meaningful glances, silently conveying the gravity of the situation. "Orion Ironclaw, we've heard the rumors, but we need to know what really happened last night," he stated, his tone unwavering. Darian Frostborn, who was known for his straightforwardness, "Yes, we've heard about the attack on Ninetails-WOLF. But we need the details." Xavier cleared his throat, his gaze steady as he addressed the clan members. "Last night, my daughter Daniela was with her brothers, Marcus and Sebastian. They were out in the city in their werewolf forms." Astrid Moonleaf, the fierce archer, raised an eyebrow, her interest piqued. "In their werewolf forms? That's usual." Xavier nodded, his expression grave. "Indeed, it is. But something triggered Daniela. She lost control and went berserk, running off into the city. Lyria Ravensong, the healer, leaned forward, her eyes filled with concern. Berserk? What could have caused that? Scarlet, her voice filled with maternal concern, added, We don't know, but it's unlike her. She's always been in control. Elijah, the former leader of the Silvercrest clan, spoke with authority. This situation is more complex than it appears. We believe there's a connection between Daniela's condition and the attack on Ninetails-WOLF. Kasha Silvercrest, the resourceful, inquired, Do you have any leads? Any idea of what might have triggered this? Xavier exchanged a glance with his wife and father before continuing, We're not sure yet, but we're determined to find out. Daniela's well-being and the safety of our community are our top priorities. Aurelius Shadowblade, the master strategist, spoke thoughtfully, We should pool our resources and investigate this. The more information we have, the better chance we have of uncovering the truth. We should also consider the possibility of an external force at play here. Something triggered Daniela, and we need to find out what that was. Solara Mooncrest, I can use the moon's energy to help amplify our senses during the investigation. It might lead us to any lingering traces. Kasha Silvercrest chimed in, We should be cautious not to expose ourselves to the human authority. We need to keep our supernatural existence hidden. Lyria Ravensong offered a suggestion, We could check at the hospitals for any reports of unusual injuries or admissions on Ninetails-WOLF. It might lead us to the attacker. Darian Frostborn addressed Marcus and Sebastian, You two were there with Daniela. Anything you remember, no matter how insignificant it seems, could be vital. Sebastian exchanged a glance with Marcus before speaking, It was chaotic. Daniela was different. It's like something took hold of her. We couldn't keep up. Marcus added, We lost sight of her in the city. We tried to find her, but she was just too fast. The discussion continued, with each members of the Silvercrest clan contributing their thoughts and ideas. Xavier and Scarlet listened intently. They were determined to uncover the truth and protect Silvercrest clan family and the werewolf community. As the morning turned to midday, the hospital room where Ninetails-WOLF was recovering felt suffused with a peculiar energy. The events of the previous night had left their mark not only on the young high school student but on those who cared for him. Lisa Rodriguez, who had been waiting anxiously at Bajil's side, couldn't shake the feeling of unease that had settled in her heart. Bajil's parents, Catherine Molly Munford and Matt Munford, sat nearby, their expressions a mix of concern and confusion. They watched as their son's injuries, which should have taken days to heal, mended at an accelerated rate. They had no explanation for this inexplicable phenomenon, and like everyone else, they were left in the dark, wondering about the mysterious circumstances surrounding Bajil's condition. Lisa's gaze never left Bajil's face, her heart pounding with a mix of emotions. She had spent countless hours by his side since the night of the attack, watching as his wounds seemed to close before her eyes. The memory of asking him to be her boyfriend on the day of the basketball game weighed on her mind. Lisa, have you heard anything from the doctors? Catherine asked, breaking the silence in the room. Lisa shook her head, her voice a whisper. No, not yet. They've been running tests, but they can't explain his rapid recovery. It's like he's not entirely human. Matt exchanged a worried glance with his wife. We need answers, and we need them soon. Whatever happened to him, it's not something we can ignore. Just then, the hospital room door swung open, and a group of doctors and nurses entered, their expressions a mix of amazement and bewilderment. One of them, Dr. Reynolds, stepped forward, his eyes fixed on Bajil. I don't know how to explain this, Dr. Reynolds began, his voice filled with astonishment. But young Mr. Wolf's injuries are healing at an extraordinary rate. It's as if he's experiencing some kind of accelerated regeneration. Dr. Reynolds' words hung in the air, leaving a sense of bewilderment in the room. Lisa, her parents, and Bajil's parents exchanged incredulous glances, struggling to comprehend the implications of this inexplicable phenomenon. As the medical staff retreated from the room, Xavier Jolene entered, casting a commanding presence. His entrance was met with a mixture of surprise and curiosity from those present. Lisa and her parents were puzzled by his arrival, while Catherine and Matt Munford, Bajil's parents, were filled with uncertainty and mystery. Xavier surveyed the room solemnly before addressing the medical staff. "Thank you for your dedicated efforts, but I'll need some privacy with the young man and his parents," Xavier said, his tone firm yet polite. The doctors and nurses hesitated, unsure of how to respond to Xavier's request. However, his reputation and commanding presence left them with little choice. With polite nods, they exited the room, leaving only Bajil's parents and Xavier within. Catherine Molly Munford, Bajil's mother, couldn't contain her curiosity any longer. "Who are you, and what do you know about our son's condition?" Xavier met her gaze with a reassuring nod. "I understand that this situation is both perplexing and alarming. My name is Xavier Jolene, and I represent a community that shares certain, unique traits with your son. Traits that may explain the inexplicable." Matt Munford, Bajil's father, leaned forward, his eyes filled with a mixture of hope and apprehension. "Unique traits? What do you mean?" Xavier took a measured breath. "Your son, Bajil, possesses a heritage that is not entirely human, and perhaps your family background shares a similar legacy. He is part of a lineage that has remained hidden from the world for generations, a lineage that, at this moment, I am unable to fully disclose." Catherine and Matt exchanged astonished glances, their minds racing with questions. The notion that their family history might hold secrets beyond their wildest imagination left them both intrigued and apprehensive. As Xavier continued to explain the existence of the accelerated healing and the importance of taking Bajil to a place where he could receive specialized care, the room's atmosphere shifted from uncertainty to one of revelation and acceptance. Bajil's parents, though initially stunned, began to realize that their son's condition held immense significance, not only for him but for their entire family. At the same time, unbeknownst to those inside the hospital, different werewolf clans lurked in the shadows of the surrounding area, monitoring the situation with great interest. The arrival of Xavier Jolene had not gone unnoticed, and it hinted at something significant about to unfold. Among them were members of the Stormwolf clan, Bloodmoon clan, and Shadowfawn clan. Among them, members of the Stormwolf clan, led by their second-in-command Footy K. Terranova, had arrived discreetly in a nondescript van. Footy, uncanny ability to navigate complex situations with an imposing presence, surveyed the hospital entrance from a distance, her keen werewolf senses attuned to any unusual activity. Melo Perez, known for her stealth and sharp instincts, remained vigilant beside Footy. Stephen Gwynn, the tech-savvy hacker of the clan, monitored hospital security feeds from the van, ready to provide valuable information. Simultaneously, the Bloodmoon clan, led by their second-in-command Taylor Carpenter, had taken a different approach. They had positioned themselves on a nearby rooftop, their forms concealed. Taylor, a fearless and dominating leader, gazed down at the hospital through calculating eyes. Danielle Stolick, the clan's master of shadows, her skills honed to perfection. Mei Ling Bloodmoon, a brilliant hacker, stood silently. Inside the inconspicuous van, Stephen Gwynn meticulously monitored the hospital's security cameras, his eyes darting across the screens. He had a reputation for being a brilliant hacker and had the uncanny ability to uncover even the most hidden digital secrets. The atmosphere in the van was tense, filled with anticipation and the palpable presence of the unknown. Suddenly, a flicker of movement caught Stephen's attention. He leaned closer to the screens, his fingers dancing across the keyboard with precision. He enhanced the image, zooming in on the figure he had spotted. It was unmistakably Xavier Jolene, the man at the center of this enigmatic situation. As Stephen Gwynn spotted Xavier Jolene making his way through the hospital, he couldn't contain his surprise and concern. Footy, Mello, recognized the urgency in Stephen's voice. "I've got eyes on Xavier. He's on the move, and he's heading straight for Bajil's room. It looks like he's about to take some action." They knew that Xavier Jolene was not just any werewolf, he was the head leader of the Silvercrest clan, the major leader of the 4 werewolf clans. Intrigued and wary, they began to discuss in hushed tones the implications of Xavier's presence at the hospital. Footy, known for her strategic thinking, leaned in closer. "Why is Xavier here?" And why is he on his way to Bajil-Wolf's room? This doesn't add up. Mellow, her instincts finely tuned, chimed in, "Footy. Xavier doesn't make hospital visits without a very good reason. We need to find out what he's up to, and quickly." Meanwhile, members of the Blood Moon clan, who were perched on a nearby rooftop, maintained a vigilant watch over the unfolding events. Taylor Carpenter, Danielle Stolick, and Mei Ling Blood Moon expertly manipulated her phone, hacking into the surveillance cameras scattered throughout the hospital, her sharp eyes narrowed with focus. The live feed revealed Xavier Jolene stride down the well-lit corridors of the New York Presbyterian Hospital. Her nimble fingers danced across the screen, ensuring they remained hidden from digital detection. Mei Ling's sharp eyes remained fixated on the screen. She relayed her observations to Taylor and Danielle in hushed tones, the urgency in her voice unmistakable. Xavier is on the move, and his presence here is no mere coincidence. We must exercise caution and discern his true intentions. Danielle couldn't help but voice her concern, her words laden with uncertainty. This doesn't make sense. Why would Xavier, the head of the Silvercrest clan and a major leader among the werewolf community, be here? And why now? Taylor's expression mirrored the unease as she leaned forward. Her eyes with precision surveillance cameras on May's phone displayed Xavier Jolene's on screen. "May, Danielle, we can't afford to take this lightly. Xavier's presence here is highly unusual, and that in itself is cause for concern. We need to understand the reason behind it. Keep tracking his movements, but exercise extreme caution. If he's here, it means something significant is happening, and we can't be caught off guard." Mello, still monitoring the situation from the van, relayed the consensus, "We're all on the same page. Let's gather as much information as we can." Xavier might have answers. The appearance of him in a seemingly ordinary human hospital was anything but ordinary. It raised a multitude of questions and set off a silent alarm in their minds. As Mello, Footy, and Stephen exchanged hurried whispers, their hushed voices carried an undertone of curiosity and concern. Why was Xavier here? What had drawn him to this particular hospital? And most importantly, what business did he have with a young man named Bajil-Wolf? The mystery deepened with each passing moment, and the members of the Stormwolf clan couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the brink of a revelation that would reshape their hidden world. As the Blood Moon clan and the Stormwolf clan members watched Xavier enter Bajil's room from the surveillance cameras. "I understand this is overwhelming," Xavier began, his voice steady but tinged with empathy. "But Bajil's condition is unique. He needs specialized care that can't be provided in a regular hospital." Catherine and Matt exchanged worried glances, their concern deepening with each passing moment. Xavier continued, "I can't reveal all the details here, but I assure you, your son's safety is my utmost priority. We have a facility, a place hidden from the prying eyes of the world, where he can receive the treatment he needs." Catherine's voice quivered as she spoke, "But what's wrong with him? Why is he healing so quickly?" Xavier hesitated for a moment, choosing his words carefully. "There is a certain degree of mystery surrounding his condition, along with the recent animal attack that injured Bajil," he began, his voice steady. "What I can assure you is that we have encountered cases like Bajil's before, and we have the expertise to help him." Catherine and Matt exchanged glances, their worry etched on their faces. They had so many questions, but the urgency of the situation left little room for further inquiry. Catherine, her voice filled with concern, implored, "But what will happen to him? Will he be safe?" Xavier nodded solemnly. "Your son will be safe. We have a place where he received the care and protection he needs, away from any potential threats and news." Matt Munford, his eyes still fixed on Bajil lying unconscious in the hospital bed, took a deep breath. "We want what's best for Bajil. If this is the only way to help him, then we'll do it." With the decision made, Xavier knew that time was of the essence. He turned his attention to Bajil, who lay there, unconscious in the hospital bed. Xavier took out his phone and dialed a number that only a select few knew. It was a direct line to his special unit team, the members who had been waiting in readiness. As the call connected, Xavier's voice was firm but filled with a sense of urgency. It's time, he said simply, knowing that those on the other end of the line understood the gravity of the situation. Retrieve Bajil-WOLF from the New York Presbyterian Hospital. On the other side of the call, his team members sprang into action, ready to carry out their carefully orchestrated plan to transport Bajil to a place of safety. Their coordination was seamless, honed through years of working together to protect their kind. As Xavier ended the call, he turned back to Bajil's parents, his expression serious but reassuring. "We'll ensure his safety," he reiterated, his words carrying a sense of conviction that instilled a glimmer of hope in the anxious parents' hearts. They had made a choice to trust in Xavier and the hidden enigmatic world that was about to become undeniably real for them. As Xavier moved to leave the room and make the necessary arrangements, Catherine's eyes filled with unspoken gratitude. "Please, take care of our son," she implored. Xavier nodded solemnly, his gaze conveying a sense of shared determination. "I promise you, we will do everything in our power to ensure his safety and well-being," he assured them before turning and leaving the room. Outside the hospital room, the world remained oblivious to the unfolding events, the clandestine actions of werewolves, and the mysterious figure who led them. Xavier's team was already in motion, preparing to extract Bajil from the New York Presbyterian Hospital. The members of the special unit, well-trained and accustomed to operating in secrecy, moved with swift precision. As they reached Bajil's room, Xavier's team moved with a practiced ease. Their years of training had prepared them for moments like these, where secrecy and precision were paramount. They entered the room, where Bajil lay unconscious, his healing accelerated, a testament to the unique nature of werewolf lineage healing abilities. The team members carried out Bajil, carefully prepared for transport. Xavier led his team out of the room, leaving no evidence of their intrusion. No trace of their presence exit mirrored their entrance, swift, coordinated, and undetected. As they made their way out of the New York Presbyterian Hospital, their actions left no visible mark on the surface, and the world remained blissfully unaware of the supernatural forces at play in the heart of the city. But deep within the hidden realm of the werewolves, the unraveling of ancestral secrets was about to begin. Outside the New York Presbyterian Hospital, Xavier and his special unit team embarked on their departure. Their carefully executed mission to retrieve Bajil-WOLF had been a success, leaving no trace of their presence. Unbeknownst to them, the world continued to spin in blissful ignorance. Within the shadows, members of the Storm Wolf clan and the Blood Moon clan maintained their vigilant watch through the surveillance cameras. They observed Xavier's departure with Bajil-WOLF. The situation was unprecedented, and it had drawn the attention of not one but two major werewolf clans. As the special unit team left the hospital, the Storm Wolf clan members, including Footy K. Terranova, Melo Perez, and Stephen Gwynn, maintained their positions. Their expressions were a mix of concern and curiosity. They understood the significance of Bajil's condition and now Xavier's involvement. Across the way on a nearby rooftop building, the Blood Moon clan members, Taylor Carpenter, Danielle Stolick, and Mei Ling Blood Moon, continued to monitor the situation with keen interest. The situation had unfolded rapidly, and they couldn't afford to overlook any detail. In the van, Footy K. Terranova, Melo Perez, and Stephen Gwynn, members of the Storm Wolf clan, were deep in discussion about the extraordinary events they had just witnessed at New York Presbyterian Hospital. The tension inside the vehicle was palpable as they tried to make sense of Xavier Jolene's unexpected appearance and his subsequent departure with Bajil-WOLF. Footy, her brows furrowed with concern, broke the silence. That was Xavier Jolene, no doubt about it. He's the head of the Silvercrest clan and a major leader in the Four-Clan Council. His presence at a human hospital is beyond unusual. Melo, who had been meticulously monitoring the situation, added, he appeared to know exactly where he was going and what he was doing. But why would he take Bajil-WOLF with him? What's so special about that kid? Stephen, the lookout, chimed in, we need more information. We can't just rely on assumptions. I'll continue to track their movements to see where they're headed. Meanwhile, members of the Blood Moon clan, Taylor Carpenter, Danielle Stolick, and Mei Ling Blood Moon, had been perched on a nearby rooftop, observing the unfolding events. Their expressions mirrored the perplexity that hung in the air. Taylor, who held the position of second in command within the Blood Moon clan, voiced her concerns. Xavier's appearance here has raised far too many questions. We must be cautious and thorough in our approach. But one thing's clear, the boy Bajil has become a crucial figure in this mystery. Danielle, known for her resourcefulness, said, "We can't act hastily. Let's head back to the clan meeting place and leverage our own resources to unravel this enigma." Mei Ling, a brilliant hacker, concurred, "I'll dig deeper into Xavier's digital footprint and see if we can uncover any clues about his intentions." Back in the hospital room, Jesus, Ariel, Adrian, Sorvent, Lisa, Lisa's parents, and Bajil's parents were left in a state of shock and confusion. Questions swirled through their minds. What had happened to Bajil, and who was this enigmatic Xavier person who had suddenly appeared and taken him away? Catherine, Bajil's mother, broke the silence, her voice trembling. "Does anyone know who that man was? And what could have caused Bajil's injuries to heal so rapidly? It's all so unbelievable." Matthew shared the same sense of bewilderment. "We need answers, and we need them now. Bajil's life may be in danger, and we must understand the truth about what's happening." As the discussion in the hospital room continued, more questions than answers lingered in the air. Jesus, Ariel, Adrian, Sorvent, Lisa, Lisa's parents, and Bajil's parents all exchanged concerned glances. The incident with Bajil and the unexpected appearance of Xavier remained a baffling mystery. In the midst of this uncertainty, Lisa had a revelation that added a new dimension to their understanding. Her voice quivered slightly as she shared, "I've heard that name before. He's Daniela's father, a figure they knew very little about, sent shockwaves through those present." Daniela's friends, Jesus, Ariel, Adrian, Sorvent, and Lisa, were aware that she rarely spoke about her family, and this revelation heightened the sense of intrigue. Lisa's knowledge of Xavier's identity as Daniela's father added another layer of complexity. While he was known to be a high-ranking and influential figure in a community unknown to them, his rare appearances only deepened the mystery surrounding Bajil's condition and the reason for Xavier's presence in a seemingly ordinary hospital. The room was filled with unspoken questions, and Bajil's parents looked to Xavier, seeking answers amidst this newfound complexity. It was clear that the mystery was far from unraveling, and every revelation only seemed to deepen the enigma. The air was filled with a mix of tension and curiosity as everyone grappled with the mysterious turn of events. "Who would have thought our friend Bajil had such secrets?" Adrian quipped, his words carrying a hint of amazement. Ariel chimed in, I knew he was extraordinary on the basketball court, but this is a whole new level." Sorvent, the witty one of the group, couldn't resist a playful pun. "Guess we've been dumped into a whole different kind of mystery here." The room resonated with laughter and camaraderie, a brief respite from the gravity of the situation. In the midst of it all, Lisa's parents, Leo and Jenna Rodriguez, exchanged understanding smiles. Jenna leaned in, her voice tinged with both humor and affection. "Kids, it's amazing how life can throw us curveballs when we least expect it." Leo nodded, adding his own insight. "It's not just about Bajil, but Xavier, too." Lisa's mentioned him and her family's connection to something unusual. Jesus interjected, "This isn't just about secrets, it's about discovering something beyond the surface of what we know." The laughter of Bajil's friends began to subside, replaced by a sense of seriousness. Catherine and Matthew, their concern etched on their faces, looked at the young faces gathered in the room. Jenna and Leo, Lisa's parents, leaned in, joining the discussion with intent expressions. Catherine's voice was soft but laden with worry. "It's not just secrets, it's Bajil's well-being. Why is he healing so rapidly? What does Xavier know that we don't?" Matthew added, "And what's this connection to the unknown world? It sounds like something out of a fantasy story." Jenna's perspective was one of curiosity tinged with caution. "Matthew's right. We need to tread carefully. This isn't just about hidden truths, it's about our children and their safety." Leo, with a reassuring nod, chimed in, "We'll find answers, but we must remember we're dealing with something beyond our understanding. It's like a puzzle with pieces we can't quite see." As the group of friends and their families departed from New York Presbyterian Hospital, their minds swirled with a mix of emotions. As an air of mystery that clung to the events they had witnessed, a mystery that they couldn't even begin to fathom. They remained entirely unaware of the werewolf community. In Bajil's parents' car, Catherine and Matthew were lost in thought, their minds filled with questions and uncertainties. The rapid accelerated healing of their son Bajil's injuries was a phenomenon that defied explanation and weighed heavily on their hearts. They exchanged worried glances, their silent communication revealing the depth of their concern. In the car carrying Lisa and her parents, Leo and Jenna Rodriguez, a deep conversation unfolded. Their minds were a whirlwind of thoughts and emotions. The revelations of the events had shaken their understanding of reality. They grappled with the knowledge that was at play. As they discussed the events they had witnessed, they couldn't help but ponder. In Jesus' vehicle, Bajil's friends sat in contemplative silence, each lost in their own thoughts. The events of the midday had left them bewildered and curious. They couldn't help but wonder that had been unveiled, and their minds raced with questions about Bajil's condition and the mysterious figure, Daniela, Father Xavier Jolene. The members of the Storm Wolf and Blood Moon clans, who had been silently observing from the shadows, began their discreet departure from the hospital's vicinity. The information they had gathered about Xavier's presence and the extraordinary events had left them with their own set of unanswered questions and newfound mysteries. The city's labyrinthine streets swallowed them whole, concealing their presence and intentions from the oblivious world. Within the shadows, concealed from the world's sight, the Shadowfawn clan watched as Xavier Jolene left the New York Presbyterian Hospital with his special unit team, departing with Bajil-WOLF in tow. Unbeknownst to the human realm, the werewolf world was in motion. Malachi Darkclaw, the son of Silas Darkclaw and a key figure within the Shadowfawn clan, stood in silence alongside his members, Alistair Moonshadow, Darius, and Selene Nightstalker, a brother and sister duo known for their fierce abilities. Their expressions hidden by the shadows, they were now on the move. Darius Nightstalker, I'm surprised to see Xavier here. Isn't he the leader of the 4 major werewolf clans? His presence adds a whole new layer of complexity to the situation. Selene Nightstalker, agreed, Darius. This is no ordinary development. We need to dig deeper and find out why Xavier Jolene, a figure of such influence, has taken a personal interest in Bajil. The pieces of this puzzle are falling into place, and we can't afford to miss any details. Malachi Darkclaw, our primary objective is to gather information about Bajil-WOLF, and we're in the dark about the attack on him last night. Xavier Jolene is not someone who gets involved in trivial matters. This is a clear sign that something significant is afoot. We should track their movements, see where they're taking Bajil, and gather as much information as possible. Alistair Moonshadow, Malachi is right. We'll maintain a discreet watch over them, learn more about this Bajil, and uncover the reasons behind Xavier's sudden appearance. As the Shadowfawn clan members set their plan into motion, they knew they were venturing into uncharted territory. Tracking Xavier Jolene, the enigmatic leader of the major werewolf clans, was a task fraught with risks. But their curiosity and determination outweighed their concerns. Malachi Darkclaw, with his sharp senses, led the way. We'll remain hidden, following them from a distance. This is our chance to understand why Xavier Jolene is involved and what connection he has to Bajil. But remember, we can't let them detect our presence. Harnessing their supernatural werewolf abilities, they stealthily trailed Xavier's departing vehicle through the city's labyrinthine streets. With superhuman speed and agility, they maintained a discreet distance, ensuring that they remained oblivious to their presence. Alistair Moonshadow, known for his resourcefulness, was quick to pick up on their direction. They seemed to be heading north. I'll keep an eye on their route and see if we figure out their destination. Darius Nightstalker, let's not forget our primary mission, discovering who attacked Bajil. This could be a pivotal piece of the puzzle. Selene Nightstalker added, our objective is twofold, uncover the assailant and understand why Xavier is involved. We'll piece together the details as we follow. Unseen by the world, the members of the Shadowfawn clan persisted in shadowing Xavier's vehicle. Their pursuit was guided by an intricate web of secrets and an unquenchable thirst for the truth. Cloaked within the gentle warmth of the sun, they tread carefully and resolutely, steadfast in their commitment to unravel the mysteries concealed within the werewolf realm they inhabited. The journey from New York Presbyterian Hospital to the hidden facility, deep within the forests on the outskirts of New York City, was a path carefully chosen by Xavier Jolene and his team. Leaving behind the heart of the bustling metropolis, they ventured toward the outskirts, where the world of human civilization gradually gave way to a more rural and untamed landscape. As they drove away from the towering skyscrapers and bustling streets of New York City, they entered the suburban areas that surround the city. These suburbs, marked by neatly arranged homes and green parks, served as the first transition zone from the urban environment to the secrets of the supernatural. Xavier Jolene's heightened werewolf senses detected the presence of someone trailing them. As they ventured deeper into the dense forest on their way to the hidden facility, he knew they were not alone. In a hushed tone, Xavier addressed their unseen pursuers, speaking directly into their ears using his werewolf abilities. "Stop where you are," he conveyed, his voice resonating in their thoughts. "I know you're following us. We won't engage in secrecy. It's time to gather all the clan leaders for a meeting." His message echoed within the minds of the Shadowfawn clan members, who had been discreetly following. It was clear that Xavier was aware of their presence, and he was extending an invitation for a more open dialogue. As the members of the Shadowfawn clan came to a halt, hidden among the trees and shadows, they knew that the enigmatic Xavier Jolene had chosen to address the situation openly. The mysteries surrounding Ninetails-WOLF's condition and Xavier's involvement were about to be unveiled on a larger stage. The werewolves' world was in for a revelation of unprecedented magnitude. Amid the dense forest, the unseen pursuers, members of the Shadowfawn clan, acknowledged that Xavier Jolene was aware of their presence. Coming to a halt, they concealed themselves among the trees and shadows, engaging in a quiet discussion among themselves. Malachi Darkclaw, the son leader of the Shadowfawn clan, gathered his fellow werewolves for a brief dialogue. The air was charged with a mix of anticipation and curiosity. Malachi, his voice carrying a low growl, addressed the group. "Xavier is aware of our presence. We've made our point. It's time to retreat and regroup. Our objective now is to convene with the other clan leaders. There's much to discuss, and our presence here won't go unnoticed." Alistair Moonshadow, Darius Nightstalker, and Celine Nightstalker, members of the Shadowfawn clan, nodded in agreement. Alistair spoke, "Our purpose was to observe, and we've achieved that. Let's make our way back to our leader and prepare for the clan leaders' meeting." Members of the Shadowfawn clan, using their supernatural agility, silently retreated through the forest, leaving no trace of their passage. The shadows embraced them as they moved, and the mysterious aura of the werewolf world. As they returned and prepared to share their findings and engage in an open dialogue with the other clan leaders. The mysteries surrounding Bajil and the unfolding events had drawn multiple werewolf clans into a complex web of uncertainty. As Xavier and his team arrived at the secluded facility, the air was charged with an air of secrecy and anticipation. The facility, nestled deep within the Great Swamp National Wildlife Refuge, was designed to remain hidden from the prying eyes of both humans and werewolves. The entrance to the facility was concealed behind the natural facade of the forest. A camouflage of vines and branches veiled the access point, ensuring that only those privy to its location could unveil the secrets it harbored. Xavier approached a seemingly ordinary-looking tree and pressed a concealed panel. With a subtle hum, the tree split open, revealing a passage that led underground. The team descended into the earth, leaving behind the daylight-dappled canopy for the dimly lit corridors of the hidden facility. Inside, the facility was a marvel of supernatural engineering. Bioluminescent flora lined the walls, casting an otherworldly glow that illuminated the path. The air had a crisp, almost electrifying quality, indicative of the advanced technology at play. Xavier led his team through a labyrinth of corridors until they reached a secure chamber. The room, outfitted with advanced medical equipment, was the heart of the facility. Here, Ninetails-WOLF would receive the specialized care that his unique condition demanded. In the heart of the facility, Xavier and his team prepared for Ninetails-WOLF's arrival. The secure chamber, bathed in the soft glow of bioluminescent lights, held state-of-the-art medical equipment designed. The hum of advanced technology filled the room as they awaited the young man who had become the center of attention. As Xavier checked the monitors and ensured everything was in order, he couldn't shake the gravity of the situation. Bajil's condition was an anomaly, and the questions surrounding his mysterious attack were puzzles that needed solving. In the sterile confines of the medical chamber, Ninetails-WOLF lay peacefully in a state of deep slumber. The bioluminescent lights cast a gentle glow on his features, revealing the subtle signs of his accelerated healing. Alicia Silvercrest, the head nurse, moved with practiced efficiency, preparing the medical instruments with meticulous care. As the medical team, comprised of skilled individuals with expertise in the field, readied themselves for the next phase of the examination, Alicia approached Bajil's side. With a gentle touch, she withdrew a small amount of blood, careful not to disturb his rest. The vial containing Bajil's blood was then handed over to the team's expert in genetics, Dr. Olivia Hawthorne. Olivia, with a background in studying werewolf lineages, was tasked with analyzing the blood to determine the specific characteristics that would unveil Bajil's werewolf heritage. As Alicia and Olivia worked silently, Xavier Jolene observed from a distance, his eyes reflecting a mix of concern and curiosity. The revelation of Bajil's werewolf lineage held the potential to unlock crucial information about his unique abilities and the circumstances that led him to this mysterious intersection of the werewolf world. The medical instruments hummed softly, their readings displaying the intricate details of Bajil's genetic makeup. The room, now filled with an air of anticipation, awaited the results that could shed light on the enigma surrounding Bajil-WOLF. While Bajil slept, unaware of the scientific scrutiny his blood was undergoing, the medical team continued their examination, guided by the pursuit of truth and the need to unravel the secrets that bound them all together. Meanwhile, afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, September 15th, Friday 2023, in the hidden enclave of the Shadowfawn clan, concealed beneath layers of darkness and secrecy within the heart of New York City. The members returned from their covert reconnaissance mission. The werewolves, having retreated through the city's labyrinthine streets, entered the territory of their clan silently. As the Shadowfawn members gathered in their concealed sanctuary, the atmosphere was thick with a mix of anticipation and mystery. Silas Darkclaw, the leader of the Shadowfawn clan, awaited their report. His eyes, sharp and perceptive, focused on each member as they prepared to share the information they had acquired. Darius Nightstalker stepped forward. His recounting of the events unfolded, detailing the mysterious appearance of Xavier Jolene, the leader of the major werewolf clans, at the human hospital, and his subsequent departure with Bajil-WOLF. Silas listened intently. The revelation of Xavier's involvement and the interest in Bajil sparked a series of questions in the minds of the Shadowfawn members. Celine Nightstalker and Alistair Moonshadow chimed in with their observations, emphasizing the gravity of the situation. Celine Nightstalker, the presence of Xavier Jolene, a figure of such authority among the werewolf clans, at a human hospital is unprecedented. Bajil-WOLF's connection to this enigma is not coincidental. Alistair Moonshadow agreed. Celine. Xavier's actions suggest a matter of grave importance. Our priority is to understand the link between Bajil and Xavier. The upcoming summit will be crucial in gathering the perspectives of the other clans. Upon hearing the details, Silas Darkclaw's eyes narrowed, a silent acknowledgement of the complexities at play. He nodded, signaling the importance of the information they had gathered. The time had come to convene a summit, a gathering of all the werewolf clan leaders. Silas Darkclaw, prepare to receive a text message from Xavier Jolene. He will provide the details for the werewolf clan leaders summit. It is imperative for the werewolf community, and every leader needed to be present to navigate the mysteries that unfolded around Bajil-WOLF and Xavier Jolene. As the Blood Moon clan members returned deep within their underground sanctuary, nestled beneath the heart of New York City, Seraphina Bloodmoon, the clan leader, awaited their report. The entrance to their hidden enclave was discreetly camouflaged amid the city's bustling streets, providing a seamless blend of secrecy with the urban landscape. The entrance, concealed behind an unassuming facade, led to a labyrinthine network of tunnels that eventually opened into the expansive underground sanctuary. This concealed haven beneath the city served as the Blood Moon clan's base of operations, where they gathered to discuss and strategize. In a dimly lit chamber adorned with symbols and ancient motifs, the clan members recounted the events they had observed at New York Presbyterian Hospital. Taylor Carpenter, second in command, stepped forward. Leader, we have important information to share. Xavier Jolene has taken Bajil-WOLF to a secluded facility. The situation is far more complex than we initially thought, and Xavier's involvement raises numerous questions. Seraphina Bloodmoon, a formidable figure with her raven black hair cascades like a waterfall down her back, and her piercing crimson eyes, listened intently as she drinks her red wine ready 2019 Serodinary Nebbiolo, Barolo. Her clan members detailed the mysterious appearance of Xavier Jolene and the subsequent departure with Bajil-WOLF. Tell me everything. Danielle Stolick, Mei Ling Bloodmoon, and Taylor Carpenter gathered to share their insights from the recent events. Danielle Stolick, the appearance of Xavier Jolene is no mere coincidence. He's a key figure among the werewolf clans, and his involvement in a human hospital is unprecedented. We need to delve deeper into his motives and connections. Mei Ling Bloodmoon, a skilled hacker within the clan, added, I'll initiate a digital investigation into Xavier's recent activities. We might find clues or patterns that could unravel the mystery. The digital realm often holds as many secrets as the physical one. Taylor Carpenter, the second in command, interjected with a note of caution, we must proceed carefully. This involves not only the well-being of Bajil, but the delicate balance of our concealed world. In the midst of the dimly lit chamber, Ileana Moscoso, Karina D'Agostino, and Francette Lopez, esteemed members of the Blood Moon clan, joined the discussion. The air thickened with a blend of anticipation. Ileana Moscoso, with her keen sense of intuition, voiced her thoughts. The sudden involvement of Xavier Jolene raises questions not just about Bajil, but about the delicate balance we've maintained for centuries. Karina D'Agostino, a warrior, added, "We can't underestimate the significance of Bajil's condition. If Xavier has taken a personal interest, it goes beyond individual clans. We must be prepared for revelations that might shake the foundations of our concealed world." Francette Lopez, absorbing the information shared by her fellow clan members, added her insights. The unfolding events are indeed extraordinary. Understanding the link between Xavier and Bajil, a 16-year-old high school student, is crucial. There's more to this situation than meets the eye, and delving into the heart of this mystery is key to navigating the challenges ahead. Serafina Bloodmoon listened intently as her clan members, Taylor Carpenter, Danielle Stalick, Mei Ling Bloodmoon, Ileana Moscoso, Karina D'Agostino, and Francette Lopez, recounted the events that had transpired. The underground sanctuary echoed with the recounting of mysteries and revelations. Serafina Bloodmoon, voice echoed with a mix of gravity. The unfolding events have thrust us into uncertainty. Bajil Wolf's mysterious and Xavier Jolene's unexpected involvements have set the stage of unprecedented significance. As she sips her red wine-ready 2019 Serenary Nebbiolo, Barolo, from the stylish Rackle Wine red long-stem glass, the reports concluded, she gathered her thoughts. Xavier will provide the details for the Werewolf Clan Leaders Summit. The text message of every leader needed to be present to navigate the mysteries that unfolded around Bajil Wolf and the assailant. In the dense foliage of Palisades Interstate Park, the clan members gathered beneath the towering trees, surrounded by the sounds of rustling leaves and the subtle murmur. The territory belonging to the Stormwolf clan, Footy K. Terranova, Melo Perez, and Stephen Gwynn reconvened to report the unfolding events to their leader, Kenneth K.G. Garcia. The air was thick with the scent of nature, and the atmosphere within the clan's territory carried a mix of tension and anticipation. Approaching a designated meeting spot, Footy K. Terranova, second in command of the clan, spoke first. "KG, the situation has taken an unexpected turn. Xavier Jolene, the leader of the Silvercrest clan, was at New York Presbyterian Hospital. He took Bajil Wolf with him, claiming that Bajil needs specialized care that can't be provided in a regular hospital." Melo Perez added, "It's unusual for Xavier to be involved directly in such matters. We need to be cautious and gather more information. Bajil's condition and Xavier's interest in him are shrouded in mystery." Stephen Gwynn shared his insights. "Our surveillance was discreet. It's possible that Xavier is aware of our presence. We observed an unexpected development at New York Presbyterian Hospital. Xavier Jolene, the head of the Silvercrest clan, appeared, and to our surprise, taking Bajil Wolf from the hospital. The situation is more complex than it seems." Kenneth K.G. Garcia listened intently, his expression a mix of concern and contemplation. "I sense that the threads of this mystery extend beyond what we can see. Xavier Jolene adds a layer of complexity to this situation. The fact that he took Bajil to a hidden facility raises questions about the nature of Bajil's condition. Our priority is to understand what makes Bajil unique and why Xavier, a figure of significant influence, is directly involved. Be prepared for any developments." Demac Laco, Julian Conflict Valerio, and Wilfredo Santiago Jr. Macho walked into the room fresh from the crucible of their training. The air in the room subtly shifted. The energy of warriors filled the space, ready for the exchange of insights. Demac spoke first, cut straight to the chase. "KG, we overheard the discussion. Seems like things are getting complicated. I'm catching a scent in the air, not just werewolf trouble. There's something deeper going on, something that doesn't smell right. I've got this feeling that Xavier knows more than he's letting on. The way he's involved suggests there's more at play." Julian, known for his strategic mind, added, "The involvement of Xavier Jolene suggests that this goes beyond a simple werewolf matter. This feels like a chess game, and we're only seeing the opening moves. Xavier is playing a strategic game. We might be stepping into a territory that involves larger supernatural dynamics." Macho, a voice that rumbled like distant thunder, weighed in. "Xavier might be playing chess. We've got our own moves to make. If there's something big coming our way, we face it head on. We've been training, and our claws sharpened and are ready. No backing down." Footy K. Terranova added, "We should also consider reaching out to the other clans. Sharing information might give us a clearer picture of what's happening. This is not just our concern, it involves the entire werewolf community." KG acknowledged their insights, as if on cue. His phone buzzed with a text message. His eyes briefly shifted to the screen, reading the message about the Werewolf Clan Leaders Summit. This summit is crucial. Xavier is bringing all the clan leaders together. With a focused demeanor, he shared the news with the rest of the Stormwolf clan members. Whatever mysteries are unfolding. Footy K. Terranova, the agile and perceptive member of the clan, nodded in agreement. It's not every day that all the clan leaders convene. This must be serious. Melo Perez, there's more to this than meets the eye. Stephen Gwynn questioned, "What's the summit about?" KG glanced at Stephen. Xavier Jolene is calling all the clan leaders to discuss the recent events involving a young teenager named Ninetails-WOLF and the mystery assailant. I need to be there, understand what's happening, and contribute to finding a solution. KG prepared for the impending summit, aware that the unfolding events would shape their kind. The threads were intertwining, pulling each clan into a convergence of secrets and unleashed revelations. In her dimly lit laboratory, Dr. Olivia Hawthorne meticulously examined the vial containing Ninetails-WOLF's blood. The fluorescent lights hummed softly overhead as she prepared to conduct a series of tests that could unravel the mysteries hidden within the teenager's veins. As she worked, her mind was a whirlwind of scientific curiosity. Bajil's unique condition had piqued her interest from the moment he was admitted to the hospital. She carefully pipetted a small sample of the blood onto a glass slide, her gloved hands moving with precision. The microscope revealed a world unseen by the naked eye. Dr. Hawthorne's gaze intensified as she observed the blood cells, searching for anomalies or irregularities. What she discovered both fascinated and perplexed her. Unbeknownst, Dr. Hawthorne uncovered a genetic marker in Bajil's blood that defied all known parameters. It was a rare and distinct signature, one that hinted at a lineage older and more mysterious than anything documented in medical literature. In this discovered excitement and disbelief, a whirlwind of emotions in Dr. Olivia Hawthorne. Her expression as she delved into the uncharted territory of discovery. Swiftly, she committed her findings to paper, each stroke of the pen capturing the essence of a revelation. At the core of her revelations lay the identification of a hitherto unknown werewolf gene. This gene stood distinct and aloof, unbound by the affiliations of the 4 major werewolf clans. Its existence challenged the established norms and hinted at a genetic landscape more intricate and diverse than ever imagined. As the ink met paper, the narrative of werewolf genetics took an unexpected turn, and the veil of mystery surrounding this newfound gene added an enigmatic layer to the werewolf world she had begun to unravel. In her meticulous examination of Ninetails-WOLF's blood, Olivia Hawthorne stumbled upon a revelation of extraordinary magnitude. An unknown and dormant werewolf gene, previously concealed within Bajil's genetic makeup, had been awakened by the events of the previous night, the very night of the basketball incident. The assailant's attack, seemingly random during the course of a basketball game, had triggered a cascade of reactions within Bajil's physiology. It was not merely an assault on the physical, it was an inadvertent awakening of a genetic potential hitherto hidden in the shadows. The dormant werewolf gene, lying dormant and unnoticed, had been catalyzed into activity, marking a pivotal moment in the life of the unsuspecting teenager. As Dr. Hawthorne pieced together the puzzle, the implications of this discovery rippled through her understanding of werewolf genetics. The inexplicable connection between the attack and the activation of this latent gene raised more questions than answers, painting a portrait of Ninetails-WOLF as a nexus of enigmatic forces that transcended the boundaries of the known werewolf clans. In her excitement, Dr. Hawthorne rushed to notify Alicia Silvercrest, the head nurse overseeing the medical team at the secluded facility. As the bearer of groundbreaking news, she knew that Alicia would grasp the magnitude of this discovery. Dr. Hawthorne found Alicia in the facility's medical bay, meticulously organizing medical instruments. "Alicia, I need you to see this. It's unprecedented," Dr. Hawthorne exclaimed, her voice tinged with a blend of awe and urgency. Alicia, sensing the gravity of the situation, followed Dr. Hawthorne to her lab. As Dr. Hawthorne revealed the details of the unknown dormant werewolf gene awakened in Ninetails-WOLF, Alicia's eyes widened with astonishment. The revelation held the promise of a prospect that both thrilled and unnerved them. Alicia Silvercrest, the head nurse, notifying Xavier Jolene of the news, a sense of urgency, he approached the lab, his footsteps echoing in the sterile corridors. He entered the lab with a demeanor that balanced curiosity and concern. The charts and data displayed before him told a story of genetic intricacies and mysteries that defied the conventional understanding of werewolf genetics. "What have you discovered, Dr. Hawthorne?" Xavier inquired, his sharp eyes scanning the data with a discerning gaze. Dr. Hawthorne, with a mix of excitement and gravity in her voice, explained the findings. "Xavier, we've identified a dormant werewolf gene in Bajil's genetic code. This gene, previously unknown and unrelated to the 4 major werewolf clans, was activated during the attack last night. It's a genetic anomaly, and its awakening appears to be triggered by external factors." Xavier absorbed the information, his mind working swiftly to comprehend the implications. The discovery of a new werewolf gene not only posed questions about Bajil's unique condition, but also opened a realm of possibilities for the supernatural community. "This is extraordinary," Xavier remarked, his expression a blend of intrigue and contemplation. "We need to understand the full extent of this genetic anomaly and its implications." The newfound werewolf gene in Bajil, Olivia, and Alicia prepared to provide insights into the broader understanding of werewolf abilities. They gathered around a holographic display, ready to elucidate the intricacies of these supernatural powers. Xavier, eyes fixed on the holographic representation, began. "Werewolves, by their nature, possess a range of extraordinary abilities. These include enhanced strength, hearing, speed, and agility. Their senses are heightened beyond human capabilities, allowing them to perceive the world in ways that remain concealed to most." Olivia continued, "The activation of the dormant gene in Bajil seems to have amplified these abilities. His physical attributes could surpass those of even werewolves. It's as if this new gene is unlocking a reservoir of untapped potential within him." Alicia added, "Moreover, werewolves have regenerative abilities. They can heal rapidly from injuries, a trait that becomes particularly pronounced during the transformation. However, the specifics of Bajil's regenerative capabilities might differ due to the influence of this unknown gene." Xavier nodded, absorbing the information. "This brings us to an essential point. Bajil needs to be informed of his unique genetic makeup. The unleashed revelation of this dormant gene may shed light on the assailant from last night. We should tread carefully and gather information discreetly." Xavier Jolene, deep in thought, gazed at the perplexing data on the new werewolf gene in Bajil Wolf's blood. His fingers danced over the keyboard, searching through extensive databases of werewolf mythology and history, yet the mysterious gene remained elusive. Olivia and Alicia, equally puzzled, scoured their own resources, finding no precedent for such an anomaly. "This is unprecedented," Xavier mused, his brow furrowed with concentration. "I've never come across anything like this in all my years of studying werewolf genetics. It's as if this gene has never existed before." Olivia nodded in agreement, her scientific curiosity tempered by a sense of awe. "It's like a page torn from a myth that hasn't been written yet. There's no record, no reference. Bajil may be the first of a kind." Alicia, the head nurse, voiced her concern. "What are the implications of this discovery, Xavier? And who else should know about it?" Xavier considered his words carefully. "This stays between us and one other person, my father, Elijah Jolene. If anyone has knowledge of hidden werewolf lore, it would be him. We need to tread cautiously. This discovery could reshape the werewolf community." With a sense of urgency, Xavier composed a detailed text message. "Werewolf Clan Leader Summit, October 20th, 2023, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Hudon Restaurant, private event. Details to follow. Urgent matters to discuss. Xavier." As the message flew through the digital channels, Xavier prepared for the impending summit, where the leaders of the werewolf clans would gather to unravel the mysteries surrounding Bajil Wolf and the newfound gene that defied all known werewolf history of secrets revealed. As evening descended on September 15th, Friday, at 7:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Bajil's friends, Jesus, Ariel, Adrian, and Sorvent, found themselves at home filled with questions and concerns about the mysterious events that had transpired earlier that morning. The atmosphere in the voice call on a Discord chat room was a mix of concern and curiosity as Bajil's friends gathered Jesus, Ariel, Adrian, and Sorvent on Discord. The digital interface connected them, providing a platform for discussion about the unfolding events that had shaken them. Ariel, breaking the virtual silence, voiced his concern. "Hey, did you all catch the chaos at the hospital this morning? Bajil got attacked yesterday, and now it feels like we're smack in the middle of a storm." Adrian, injecting a bit of humor, quipped, "Yeah, a storm of epic proportions. Should we start looking for clues and detective hats?" Sorvent, with a chuckle, added, "Maybe we're the detectives in this story. What do you think, Jesus? Ready for some mystery solving?" Jesus, with a grin in his voice, replied, "I'd rather focus on finding out what happened to Bajil first. Detective work can wait. Ariel, more serious now, jokes aside, we need to know what's going on with Bajil and why Daniela's father took Bajil from the hospital." Adrian agreed. "We should reach out to Daniela. She might know more about why her father took Bajil from the hospital. We can ask her if she has any information that can help us understand what's going on." Sorvent, guys, detective hats and mystery solving aside, let's be real for a moment. We're talking about Bajil and the hospital. This is like a plot straight out of a drama series. Jesus chuckled. "True, but sometimes reality is stranger than fiction. We need to find out what's happening, especially if it involves our friend. Let's not jump to conclusions, but reaching out to Daniela is a good idea. She might be as clueless as we are, but maybe together, we can figure out the pieces of this puzzling situation." The friends decided to act on their plan, preparing to contact Daniela for any information that could unravel the mystery surrounding Bajil's sudden departure from the hospital and the involvement of Daniela's father. In the spacious living room at 25 Riverside Drive, New York, 10023, the air held a tension that mirrored the city's nocturnal skyline. Catherine Molly Munford and her husband Matt Munford were a testament to the entrepreneurial spirit of their successful online emporium store, SeekerEnterprise.com. It had become a beacon for seekers of unique and esoteric items, attracting a global audience. The events of the day had left them both bewildered, especially the sudden departure of their son Bajil from the hospital under the care of Daniela's father. Catherine, eyes reflecting a mix of worry and curiosity, broke the uneasy silence. "Matt, this doesn't make sense. Why would Daniela's father, a well-known figure in the community, take Bajil away so abruptly?" Matt, searching through the internet on his smartphone and sipping his hot cocoa, replied, "Catherine, there's more to this than meets the eye. It's as if we're delving into some unknown that has been unleashed. Perhaps we should." Meanwhile, on the Upper East Side at 4 East 79th Street, New York, 10075, in the refined home of Leo Rodriguez and Jenna Rodriguez, the atmosphere was equally charged with concern. The spacious living room, adorned with tasteful art pieces and classic furniture, became a haven for pondering the unknown. Jenna, an accomplished artist specializing in drawing, art, illustration, and digital art software like Photoshop, shared a furrowed brow reflecting the shared work. "Leo, have you ever heard of anything like this?" Leo, sipping his cherry smoothie thoughtfully, replied, "Jenna, this is beyond our understanding. But one thing is clear, Lisa is somehow entangled in something extraordinary. We should stay informed and support her as best we can." As both sets of parents grappled with the enigma that had suddenly entered their lives, they felt a shared sense of mysteries that surrounded them. The events unfolding in the underbelly of the city would soon cast a shadow. Little did they know that the threads of their inquiries would soon intertwine with a larger, werewolf tapestry. As the night embraced the city, casting shadows upon its secrets, the clock ticked away, leading to a new day. Saturday, September 16th dawned with the promise of answers yet to be uncovered. In the quiet hours of the morning, two figures emerged on the canvas of the unfolding narrative, one a harbinger of chaos, the other a seeker of justice. Northwood's crime scene. Early morning, the air was crisp, and the first rays of sunlight painted a gentle glow on the outskirts of the city. Amidst the tranquility, the Northwoods concealed a scene shrouded in mystery. Detective Preston Locke, an investigator with a stern countenance, surveyed the area. His sharp eyes, etched with the weariness of countless investigations, honed in on the details that whispered of a struggle. Beside him stood Officer Ikri Shao Bluefeather, a determined young recruit eager to prove herself. Her eyes held a mix of curiosity and apprehension as she observed the experienced detective. The crime scene, marked with signs of a recent altercation, hinted at a story waiting to be unraveled. Preston Locke, his voice carrying the weight of years in law enforcement, directed the officers. "Bluefeather, start documenting every detail. We need to understand what happened here." Ikri Shao Bluefeather, with a stoic demeanor and a keen eye for detail, began her meticulous documentation. Her mixed heritage of Latina, Asian, and Native American origin reflected in her unique name, adding a layer of cultural richness to her character. As she moved about the crime scene, her focused gaze absorbed every nuance, unraveling the cryptic puzzle that lay before them. As Ikri meticulously documented the area, she noticed an unusual footprint near the site. These were unlike any she had encountered in her career. The prints were large, with an intricate pattern that seemed almost ethereal. Preston, observing Ikri's discovery, furrowed his brow. "What kind of footprint is that, Bluefeather? I've seen a lot in my years, but this is something else." Ikri, examining the prints with a mix of fascination and bewilderment, replied, "Detective, these footprints don't match any known species, let alone any human or animal we're familiar with. It's like they defy the natural order." As Ikri continued her examination, her eyes at the peculiar footprint imprinted on the ground. They were unlike anything she had ever seen, elongated and clawed, with an eerie symmetry that hinted at an otherworldly presence. "Detective Locke, these prints are unlike anything I've encountered before," Ikri remarked, crouching down for a closer look. "They seem almost unknown." Preston, scrutinizing the unusual prints, grunted in agreement. "We need more information. Check the surroundings carefully." The question lingered in the crisp air. Why was Ninetails-WOLF, a high school student who should have been at the basketball game, found in this secluded location? Preston, contemplating the anomaly, voiced his thoughts. "Bluefeather, it doesn't add up. We've got a high school kid, supposed to be at a basketball game, now attacked in the woods. What's the connection? Why wasn't he at the game?" Ikri, examining the surroundings, responded, "Detective, it's like he might have been drawn here. But why? And what attacked him? Those prints, they're not normal. We might be dealing with something out of the ordinary." Preston, a veteran detective with a penchant for unraveling complex cases, narrowed his eyes. "Let's dig into Ninetails-WOLF's background. Find out everything, his friends, family, affiliations. There's more to this story, and we need to piece it together." As the investigation unfolded, Ikri walked to their car, where the laptop awaited, positioned not far from the Northwood scene and Silvermoon High. With a swift click, Ikri accessed school records, social media profiles, and any traces of Bajil's connections. Meanwhile, Preston continued his examination of the unusual footprint imprinted on the ground, searching for hidden clues that could shed light on the enigma surrounding Bajil's mysterious detour from the basketball game to the eerie Northwoods. Preston and Ikri, after their investigation at the Northwoods crime scene, decide to visit Coach Steven at his home 1230 Park Avenue, New York, instead of Silvermoon Heights, since it's the weekend close. They arrive at Coach Steven's residence, seeking information about Bajil's actions during the basketball game. The suburban neighborhood is quiet, with the sun casting a warm glow. As they knock on Coach Steven's door, the anticipation of uncovering more about Bajil's mysterious actions adds a layer of tension to the investigation. Coach Steven opens the door, his expression a mix of surprise and curiosity. "Detectives, what brings you here on a weekend?" he asks. Preston, with a stern yet composed demeanor, replies, "We're investigating an incident involving one of your students, Ninetails-WOLF. We need to understand his movements during the basketball game. Can we ask you a few questions?" Coach Steven, a bit taken aback, nods and invites them in. They sit in the living room, the detective duo and the coach, a tableau of inquiry against the backdrop of a quiet suburban Saturday. Preston begins, "Coach Steven, we're trying to piece together Bajil's activities during the game. Did anything unusual happen? Did he show any signs of distress or agitation?" Coach Steven, recalling the game, shakes his head. "No, not at all. Bajil is a talented player, and he seemed perfectly fine during the first half. But when the second half started, he was nowhere to be found." Ikri interjects, "Did anyone notice him leaving? Did he say anything to his teammates or friends?" Coach Steven scratches his head, clearly puzzled. "No, it's strange. Nobody saw him leave, and he didn't say anything. It's like he vanished during halftime." As the detectives delve deeper into the details, the mystery surrounding Bajil's disappearance during the basketball game deepens. As the conversation unfolded at Coach Steven Place, mysterious events continued to play out. The Blood Moon clan, deep in discussion, sought to understand the unfolding mysteries that connected them to the events surrounding Ninetails-WOLF. The day transitioned into afternoon, casting a shadow over the enigma that had gripped the city. Serafina, Spoke received the text message, "Werewolf Clan Leaders Summit Announcement. Attention Werewolf Clan Leaders. In light of recent events and the mysteries surrounding Ninetails-WOLF's condition, a Clan Leaders Summit has been called for unity, information sharing, and collective decision-making. The summit will take place on October 20th, 2023, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Location, Hudong Restaurant. Private event, agenda, unveiling and discussion of recent occurrences. Sharing information on the mysterious assailant targeting Ninetails-WOLF. Strategies for maintaining unity among werewolf clans. Other matters of significance. Attendance is mandatory for all clan leaders. Please come prepared to share any relevant information and insights. The security and confidentiality of the summit are of utmost importance. For further details and any pre-summit concerns, let us stand united in the face of the unknown. Sincerely, Xavier Jolene. The words on the screen seemed to echo with the gravity of the situation. The Werewolf Clan Leader Summit was not just a gathering, it was a call to confront the unknown and address the mysteries that had unfolded. Danielle Stolick, our priority should understand the events leading to Bajil's condition. If we can uncover the assailant's identity, we may find answers that link us to the broader werewolf community. Mei Ling Bloodmoon suggested, Bajil may hold more clues than we realize. The supernatural forces at play are powerful, and our role in this unfolding mystery is yet unclear. Let's tap into our collective werewolf abilities during our workout sessions. Perhaps, Taylor Carpenter, the pragmatic voice in the group, emphasized, let's focus on gathering more information. We need to understand the events that led to Bajil's condition. While we work on gathering information, we must also be prepared physically. Our workout sessions and practice fights will keep us sharp and ready for any challenges that may arise. Ileana Moscoso, Karina D'Agostino, and Francette Lopez, each contributing their unique perspectives, discussed the need on the matter. As the discussion unfolded, the Blood Moon clan transitioned into their workout and practice session. Each member engaged in rigorous training, honing their werewolf abilities, and preparing for the challenges that lay ahead. The afternoon shadows lengthened as the clan moved through their exercises, the echoes of their shared commitment resonating in the secluded sanctuary. Approximately 25 minutes before seasoned Detective Preston Locke and Officer Ikri Shao Bluefeather arrived at Coach Stevens, the Silvercrest clan members, split into their designated teams, silently approached the North Woods crime scene. Lurking in the shadows, they aimed to gather information discreetly. Team formation: Team 1, Orion Ironclaw, Lyria Ravensong, Solara Mooncrest. Team 2, Aliana Moonshadow, Aldrich Stoneclaw, the Los Ironthorn. Team 3, Aurelius Shadowblade, Astrid Moonleaf, Darian Frostborn. Team 4, Kasha Silvercrest. Phelan Silverthorn. Observations and approaches: Team 1, Orion Ironclaw, with his keen eyes, focused on the physical aspects of the crime scene, looking for signs of struggle or disturbance. Lyria Ravensong, utilizing her abilities, scanned for any residual mystical energies in the air. Solara Mooncrest, known for her acute senses, concentrated on identifying scents and any unusual odors that might linger in the area. Team 2, Aliana Moonshadow and Aldrich Stoneclaw, both collaborated to detect any traces of werewolf activities or mystical residue. The Los Ironthorn, with his expertise in tracking, examined footprints in the surrounding area for clues. Team 3, Aurelius Shadowblade, Astrid Moonleaf, and Darian Frostborn, a formidable trio, investigated the surroundings for clues related to Bajil's sudden detour from the basketball game. Astrid Moonleaf, with her analytical mind, assessed the patterns of footprints and movements around the area. Team 4, Kasha Silvercrest and Phelan Silverthorn, a dynamic duo, observed and analyzed the overall dynamics of the crime scene, looking for any anomalies or patterns that might stand out. Collaborating and gathering information, the teams maintained silent communication, exchanging insights and observations. They strategically positioned themselves lurking in the shadows. The members were poised to contribute their unique skills to the unfolding investigation at Northwood's crime scene. As the Silvercrest clan members approached, silently surveyed the Northwoods crime scene, Team 1, led by Orion Ironclaw, caught sight of the seasoned detective and officer. Orion swiftly alerted the other teams, ensuring they were aware of the presence of law enforcement. Orion Ironclaw, team, we've got company. Seasoned detective and officer approaching. Stay vigilant and maintain within the shadows. Simultaneously, Team 3, led by Aurelius Shadowblade, made a remarkable discovery. Astrid Moonleaf, with her keen eyes, noticed distinct from afar away footprints near the crime scene. Used their heightened hearing, communicated to everyone. These prints, they're not human. They resemble werewolf tracks. This is something the detectives might not be aware of. Let's document and analyze. Team 2 reaction to werewolf footprints: Aliana Moonshadow, Aldrich Stoneclaw, and the Los Ironthorn of Team 2 exchanged intrigued glances as they hear of their heightened hearing the werewolf footprints discovered by Team 3. Aldrich Stoneclaw, these prints aren't from any ordinary creature. They're werewolf tracks. It seems our kind is involved in this mystery. Aliana Moonshadow, contemplating the implications of the werewolf footprints, added, "This changes the game. Now that we know the police will be involved, it's certain that one of our kind from the werewolf community attacked a high school student. But why? There's immeasurably more." The Los Ironthorn, with a nod, affirmed, "The detectives are oblivious to the supernatural aspect. We have an advantage if we play our cards right. Let's gather information discreetly." Cassia Silvercrest and Phelan Silverthorn Team 4 exchanged glances as they processed the revelation of werewolf footprints. Cassia, known for her diplomatic skills, spoke, "This could be a pivotal moment. If there are other werewolves involved, we must tread carefully. We don't know their intentions." Phelan Silverthorn added, "Agreed. Let's observe. We might learn more about the situation before making our move. Our priority is to understand the motives and dynamics at play." In the hushed stillness of the North Woods, the Silvercrest clan members, their silhouettes blending with the shadows, engaged in a clandestine gathering of information. Their heightened senses, listening in on the two detectives, allowed them to perceive the world in ways imperceptible to ordinary mortals. Solara Mooncrest, her eyes narrowed in concentration, detected a faint but unmistakable scent wafting through the air, a scent known to her, though at this point, the identity of the person behind it remained shrouded in mystery. Nearby, Lyria Ravensong discerned the lingering traces of two distinct magical imprints. The air hummed with the unseen, as if whispering secrets only the attuned could comprehend. As the Silvercrest members remained concealed, Astrid Moonleaf voiced her contemplation, but Jill's journey took him far from the basketball game. It's an odd choice for him, and there's a narrative here that we're only beginning to grasp. Aurelius Shadowblade, his eyes scanning the surroundings for any sign of disturbance, pondered aloud, "The question is, why did he end up here, in the heart of the North Woods? And what might have led to such a peculiar deviation from his expected path?" Darian Frostborn added, "There's a motive behind this, something more profound than a mere detour. Our challenge is understanding the unseen threads that weave this mysterious tapestry." As the Silvercrest clan stealthily retreated from the Northwood crime scene, the air crackled with the lingering essence of the supernatural. The interplay of scents and energies painted a clandestine mural, revealing layers of mystery that extended beyond the comprehension of mortal senses. Unknown to the werewolves, their clandestine maneuvers had set the stage for an intricate dance between the shadows and secrets. The impending intrusion of Detective Preston Locke and Officer Ikri Shao Bluefeather into their concealed world loomed like an inevitable storm. Back at the Jolene household, the werewolves reconvened, their eyes reflecting the gravity of the information they had gleaned. Solara Mooncrest, with her heightened olfactory senses, detected a familiar scent that twirled in the evening air, Daniela. Unbeknownst to the Silvercrest clan, the scent of the young woman they had encountered earlier lingered, an enigma yet to be unraveled. Lyria Ravensong, the keen observer of mystical energies, scanned the residual traces left in the atmosphere. Two distinct energies, like ethereal threads, intertwined and whispered secrets only the initiated could comprehend. Astrid Moonleaf, using her acute senses, revealed a peculiar detail. Bajill's walk was purposeful, leading farther away from the basketball game. The question is, why? As the clan members shared their insights, Aurelius Shadowblade, Astrid Moonleaf, and Darian Frostborn added their voices to the unfolding narrative. The tapestry of revelations, woven with threads of suspense, hinted at a tapestry much larger than the isolated incidents suggested. With the day gracefully surrendering to evening, the anticipation within the Jolene residence reached a crescendo. They shared insights echoing in the air, awaited the return of Xavier. The atmosphere in the living room crackled with a blend of anticipation and uncertainty. As the members of the Silvercrest clan exchanged glances, the realization dawned upon them that Xavier wasn't home. Scarlet observed the tension in their expressions and beckoned them to share their findings. The room hushed as the werewolves took turns recounting the events at the Northwood crime scene. Solara Mooncrest revealed the familiar scent of Daniela lingering in the air, adding an unexpected layer to the unfolding mystery. Lyria Ravensong's mystical insight uncovered two distinct energies interwoven in the atmosphere, casting shadows upon the secrets hidden in the woods. Astrid Moonleaf keenly disclosed Bajill's purposeful walk away from the basketball game, posing a question that lingered in the minds of the clan members. Aurelius Shadowblade, Astrid Moonleaf, and Darian Frostborn contributed their thoughts, weaving a narrative that hinted at a broader intrigue. The atmosphere in the Jolene household held a potent mix of trepidation and curiosity for the werewolves. As they continued to exchange ideas, Scarlet assured them that Xavier would be informed upon his return. The decision was made for the Silvercrest clan members to remain at the 973 Fifth Avenue, New York, 10075 Jolene/Silvercrest residences until Xavier returned, allowing them to share their insights more cohesively. Meanwhile, at the Great Swamp National Wildlife Refuge, Xavier's secluded facility buzzed with an undercurrent of mystery and tension. The corridors echoed with the hushed voices of Dr. Olivia Hawthorne and Alicia Silvercrest, their minds absorbed in the profound discovery within Ninetails-WOLF's blood. As the trio delved into the intricacies of the unknown gene, held the potential to reshape the very fabric of werewolf genetics. Each strand of DNA whispered secrets that could redefine the boundaries of what was known about their kind. The room dimly lit with the glow of monitors and equipment. The hum of machinery underscored the intensity of the moment as the analysis unfolded. Sequences of nucleotides unveiled themselves, and patterns emerged, defying the established norms of werewolf genetics. Dr. Hawthorne's eyes widened with each revelation, a silent acknowledgement of the extraordinary nature of their findings. In the midst of this scientific odyssey, Xavier's phone buzzed, signaling an incoming call. Elijah Jolene, Xavier's father, a seasoned werewolf elder and former patriarch in the werewolf community, appeared on the screen. Xavier answered, his voice carrying a mixture of urgency. "Dad, we've discovered an unknown gene in Bajil's blood. It's unlike anything we've seen before. We need your insight," Xavier explained. Elijah, driving through the night in his sleek electric Model 3 long-range dual-motor all-wheel drive with solid black paint and 18-foot photon wheels car, listened intently, felt a surge of curiosity and concern. The implications of an unknown gene in a werewolf's blood were monumental. As he maneuvered his car through the winding paths leading to the facility, his thoughts raced with possibilities. The secluded facility loomed in the distance as Elijah arrived, the headlights of his Model 3 casting an illuminating glow. He stepped into the facility, a bastion of secrecy and discovery. Entering the room, Elijah was met with the focused gaze of Dr. Olivia Hawthorne and Alicia Silvercrest. The equipment hummed softly, a backdrop to the unfolding mystery within Bajil's genetic makeup. As Xavier briefed his father on the details, Elijah's keen werewolf senses tingled with anticipation. Elijah, guided by centuries of werewolf wisdom, added a layer of understanding to their analysis. The unknown gene and enigma wrapped in the strands of Bajil's DNA became a focal point of discussion. Elijah, drawing from the reservoir of werewolf lore, provided insights that transcended the limitations of the laboratory. The scientific and the werewolf danced in a delicate balance, guided by the collective wisdom of those present. Elijah's words resonated within the hallowed confines of the secluded facility, his voice carrying the weight of werewolf wisdom. As he delved into the depths of the unknown gene within Bajil's DNA, the room became a crucible of understanding, where scientific inquiry and ancient lore converged. The Nightshade clan, Elijah spoke, his gaze penetrating the strands of genetic code displayed on the monitors. This gene is a signature of the Nightshade clan, a lineage long thought to be lost to the annals of werewolf history. Elijah began, "I know a book that held the secrets of werewolf history called Lyconomicon, a compendium of werewolf knowledge which wouldn't be recorded in modern technology that dates back to the reign of the King Werewolf, the emperor of all werewolf clans." The revelation hung in the air, a bridge connecting the present with the shadows of werewolf lore. The Nightshade clan, a name whispered through the ages, carried a legacy shrouded in mystery. Elijah's voice continued, a vessel for the tales of the past. Legend has it that the Nightshade clan possessed abilities beyond the ordinary werewolf. Their connection to the extra-mundane realm was unparalleled. He paused, allowing the weight of the revelation to settle. The Nightshade clan, once rulers among werewolves, had left an indelible mark on the tapestry of werewolf history. The King Werewolf, the emperor of all werewolf clans, held a delicate balance among the 5 major clans, Elijah explained. Each clan possessed unique gifts, contributing to the harmony of the werewolves' world. The Nightshade clan, however, was different. Their abilities bordered on the arcane, making them a force to be reckoned with. However, one day they disappeared, and their existence became a fragment of werewolf mythology. As the implications of Elijah's words settled, Xavier, Dr. Olivia Hawthorne, and Alicia Silvercrest exchanged glances absorbing the information. The resurrection of the Nightshade clan, a force believed to be consigned to the whispers of folklore, bore consequences that rippled through the fabric of their understanding. The question now is why this gene has surfaced in Bajil. The Nightshade clan disappeared eons ago, Elijah mused, his eyes reflecting the weight of ancient werewolf lore. This discovery, the awakening of dormant genes, connects Bajil not only to the Nightshade clan but also to the intricate tapestry of werewolf history and politics. As the revelation of Bajil's connection to the Nightshade clan hung in the air like an ethereal mist, an anticipatory hush enveloped the room. In the midst of this mystical stillness, a soft but distinct notification buzzed on the monitor, like a secret melody signaling the emergence of another genetic anomaly. The atmosphere crackled with both tension and curiosity as the digital revelation unfolded, unveiling a trace to the Silvercrest clan. This wasn't just a mere ripple in the supernatural pond, it was a seismic shift that added an intricate layer of complexity to the already enigmatic mystery. The dormant gene awakening in response to the attack by a werewolf from the Silvercrest clan hinted at a story of interconnected familial ties and ancient blood bonds. Alicia Silvercrest, her usually composed demeanor momentarily giving way to wide-eyed realization, broke the ensuing silence. If the attacker's gene is mixed with the Silvercrest clans, we might be looking at someone from within our own community, she voiced, the weight of that revelation sinking in with each word. The notion that the assailant might be a member of their own clan injected a chilling uncertainty into the room. It could be a member of our clan who attacked Bajil. Dr. Olivia Hawthorne nodded in somber agreement. If that's the case, we have to uncover the truth. The discovery of the assailant's gene being traced back to the Silvercrest clan implicates us in a way we didn't anticipate. Xavier pondered the revelation. The question now, he mused, is why this gene has surfaced in Bajil. The Nightshade clan disappeared eons ago, and now, unexpected member of our clan who attacked Bajil Wolf. Elijah, the venerable formal patriarch, added a layer of understanding to their analysis. This unknown gene, an enigma wrapped in the strands of Bajil's DNA, has become a focal point of our discussion. The scientific and the werewolf lore dance in a delicate balance, guided by the collective wisdom of those present. The room fell into a thoughtful silence, each person contemplating the implications of this newfound revelation. The journey into the heart of the unknown had just taken a surprising turn, revealing that the answers they sought might be closer to home than they ever imagined. Their words lingered in the air, casting a serious pallor over the assembled group. As everyone exchanged thoughts, the room resonated with a convergence of ancient lore and modern science. The atmosphere held a tension akin to a taut string, ready to unravel the secrets that lingered in the air. The unknown gene, a bridge between the past and the present, cast a profound shadow over the room, leaving everyone present with a sense that they were on the precipice of unraveling a mystery that transcended time itself. The notification on the monitor regarding the Silvercrest clan's gene served as a catalyst for a broader conversation. Each member contemplated the implications, not just for Bajil but for the werewolf community as a whole. The room, an enclave of secrets and revelations, became a crucible where the threads were being meticulously woven together, creating a narrative that would redefine the very essence of werewolf existence. Xavier turns to his father Elijah, his eyes reflecting a mix of awe and realization. The Nightshade clan was considered the most powerful among the 4 werewolf clans. Their abilities were extraordinary, even among our kind. It said that they held ancient secrets and possessed a unique connection to the mystical forces that govern our existence. Xavier pauses for a moment, as if contemplating how this revelation connects to Bajil's dormant Nightshade gene. And about the Werewolf Emperor, he continues, in werewolf history, the Nightshade clan was once led by a figure known as the Werewolf Emperor. This leader held a position of great authority, serving as a unifying force among the clans. The Emperor was not just a ruler, but a guardian of our traditions and the balance that kept our community strong. Elijah listens attentively, absorbing the information his son Xavier saying. The Nightshade clan's significance and you mention of the Werewolf Emperor hint at a profound connection between Bajil's lineage and a historical legacy that stretches back through the ages. As for why Bajil dormant Nightshade gene, Xavier adds, that's a mystery we still need to unravel. The answers may lie in the events that transpired recently and the assailant who seems to share our heritage. Elijah, with his vast knowledge of werewolf lore, could nod in understanding, recognizing that they are on the cusp of uncovering secrets that may reshape their community's understanding of itself. The morning sun painted streaks of gold across the New York sky, announcing the arrival of September 17th, Sunday 2023. In Xavier Jolene's facility, the room held a silent vigil as otherworldly dimly glow that illuminated in the room revealed Bajil Wolf, gradually emerging from the depths of unconsciousness. The air was charged with an unspoken anticipation, as if the very fabric of awaited Bajil's return to consciousness. Xavier, sitting nearby with a cup of first flush Darjeeling tea drinking, watched with a measured intensity. The room seemed to pulse with an energy that transcended the ordinary, a testament to the extraordinary events that had unfolded. As Bajil's eyes opened, casting shadows that danced with the secrets held within, Bajil, still groggy from the veils of unconsciousness, looked around, registering the unfamiliar surroundings. The air seemed to shimmer with unspoken questions, and Xavier, with his glowing piercing silver-red eyes reflecting ages of wisdom, spoke with calm assurance, "Good morning, Bajil-WOLF."